Hello, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about helping our EL parents with technology. My name is Stephanie Rucker. I've been in education since 2007, and I live in a small rural town and I teach in a small rural school in Texas. Throughout the years, I have worked with various high school level age groups teaching English, and I have taught EL students in my classes throughout those years. Um, Mostly Spanish speaking students, but I've had a few variations over the years. A student from the Philippines and one student from Nigeria. So those couple of things were a little bit different than normal, but also fun. Currently, I teach senior English, and I also serve as my campus dyslexia interventionist, where I also have some EL students that require those dyslexia services along with developing the second language. I personally think it's important to help our EL parents with technology since many of them do not have a lot of experience with our systems, the platforms that we use. But I do know that they desire to help and encourage their children to excellence. It seems to be built into their nature to want their students to do really well. I also think that for school librarians, they can be a great resource for these parents because our school librarians have the experience, the expertise to teach other adults on a regular basis, so they are comfortable with talking to adults. And the school librarian is normally seen in the community as a leader to be trusted and someone you can regularly go to. So let's get into helping our EL parents with technology and reaching out to them with tech help. So let's talk about the why and then how. So the problem that we see is that many of our EL parents have issues helping their students with technology. Some do not know the basic technology, like maybe how to access email or completing internet searches, possibly downloading files, and then where do they go to? Many have no idea of the resources that are available to the students that are in our schools. And so over here to the side, you see some parents, and we don't want them to look like that. We don't want them to be scared. We want them to relax and know that we are here to help. So what can we do to help our EL parents and bridge the gap between the school and the community? And also, like, first of all, why? Why do we want to do that? Why should we be concerned, first of all, with helping our EL parents and technology? As teachers, as librarians, we teach our children that are in our school in front of us to use that technology, and those are the ones that we deal with on a regular, everyday basis. So why should we concern ourselves with whether the parents know how to use it or not? I like this quote here that says, one of the most effective ways parents and other caregivers can help their children achieve ambitious educational goals is to become involved in their children's education. Research shows that children whose parents and other caregivers are knowledgeable about and engaged in their homework assignments, talk with them about school, and help plan their education, achieve higher test scores, make better grades, have better school attendance, and demonstrate better behavior at school and at home. Now, what we can gather from this is that over the years, the research that's been done tells us that when parents are engaged in the students' learning, our students are going to do so much better. Okay. Some of them are engaged in different ways. We like to call them traditional and non-traditional parent engagement. And either form is highly important, but here's a brief look at two different types. So the traditional type of parent engagement looks like parents helping with schoolwork, attending the parent evenings, meetings like PTO or other open house type events. Of course, social events and maybe sports events, and then sometimes volunteering in the classroom. That's what that looks like. This can be a minor impact in the traditional way, and we like to see this because any impact is going to be better than no impact at all. But in the non-traditional sense, what we would like to see more movement to is the non-traditional, in that the parents have moral and emotional support for their children. They read to and they read with their children. They promote and supplement the learning in the home. They follow and support their children's learning interests. And they model learning and resilience in front of their children in their house, and by default create a learning environment. This can be a major impact for students. And what comes naturally probably in a teacher's home or in an educator's home is to create that learning environment on a regular basis, but that doesn't always come natural for all people. And so as a school system, we need to help support our parents in creating that learning environment, and especially our EL parents who are most of the time underserved. So let's talk about directly the technology portion of this, because we talked in general about them being engaged, but how does technology play a part in it? Well, since a large portion of what our students use daily is technology based now, we need all parents to be educated in technology so that they have the confidence to help their children. We want our underserved ELs to be engaged. Many of our underserved populations lack the confidence they need in order to help their children. And the confidence comes through their learning and being able to navigate the technology. So here's some research quotes. As technology becomes more prevalent in the lives of children, we must serve as a resource for parents in this area. It's clear that parents' confidence in using technology influenced their engagement in their children's learning. And that was some different research. And then finally, computers and high-speed internet are tools that hold great promise for overcoming distance, time, language, and access barriers to educational resources, especially those that tend to disproportionately affect underserved families. Our EL parents are typically underserved families, and so we need to reach out to them, put ourselves in their shoes, and be a support for them in order for them to build confidence. Three main research articles that I looked at in preparing for this are listed here: Empowering Parents Through Technology, Parents' Acceptance of Educational Technology, Lessons from Around the World, and then the impact of parental confidence in using technology on parent engagement in children's education at home during COVID-19 lockdowns. And there was 19 different countries that were in that particular resource. The main conclusion of all three of these articles, continuously mentioned, was that there is a direct correlation between parental support and parental confidence in using the technology. One of them said parents who engaged in more activities supporting their children's learning at home tended to have more confidence in using technology. Or parents with more confidence in using technology tended to engage in more activities supporting their children's learning. So we see here that it is a reciprocal relationship between the confidence and supporting the children's learning. And we would like that to be a positive relationship moving forward. Also, many of our English-speaking parents get overwhelmed by all the platforms that we use and usernames, passwords to remember. So if our English-speaking parents get overwhelmed by all the platforms that we use, you can only imagine that it's that much harder for EL parents to use the technology that the school has requested. Like if we put ourselves in their shoes for a little bit, we can see that that can be overwhelming, even more so than just an English-speaking parent. One of the researchers says provision of devices and access to the internet are key steps, but not the only ones. Working closely with parents to help them to use technology to support their children's learning is critical as well. Also, many of our EL parents do not understand or accept technology as a powerful tool. And in order for them to reach that conviction that technology is a powerful tool in learning, we need our parents to welcome and accept the technology as a powerful tool. So we need to help them. We can't just hand them a device and hope for the best. We need to be there to support them. So the big question, what do? We talked about why. Now let's talk about how. How can we help them instead of just standing around and hoping for the best? So some of the plan of action that I think would be a great idea are some frequently asked question videos on our district website, Facebook, Instagram, open house booth, and some seminars. So let's talk individually about these. First of all, the frequently asked question videos. You can get your librarian to post videos on district Facebook or Instagram, making sure there are translations in whatever language might be the most popular for your EL parents. Like if your school is mostly Spanish, make sure there's a Spanish translation, and turning on the closed captions. Because reading the language is helpful while these parents are possibly learning the English language. And be sure that you slow down so that they can catch all the words. You know, there's a longer processing of a different language that takes place. So if I can say a whole sentence and you as an English-speaking person can catch just a few words, imagine that a non-English speaker is going to catch even less. So be sure to slow down so that they have a chance to catch everything that you're saying. These videos you could turn into short series of quick tips for Instagram Reels or stories, and then you can be sure to build an archive of the videos on the district website under your resources as an easy way to direct parents to the website where these resources are. They can click and watch how-to videos, especially if you are demonstrating a particular skill to them instead of just generally talking. And this is easy for us to do as teachers and librarians who have access to a lot of technology that we use on a daily basis. We can create these videos and we are a trustworthy person in the community that they will listen to us and we can guide them through that. And of course, most of the people that have devices in their hands know how to work their social media pretty well. So if we capitalize on what they already know and then build their skills from that, that would be super helpful to them. Secondly, most of us host an open house or a meet the teacher night. So it's really good if you set up an area, a booth, or perhaps you can guide them to the library for the parents to walk in and be able to go through how to access their parent portal. Most of us have a parent portal system for our parents to look at messages and grades and assignments. And if we can walk them through that, that gives us a chance to answer those basic questions and a way to have communication with them, and maybe a few other easy to answer tech questions. Make sure that you outsource with your foreign language department to have some translators on hand. Maybe even make sure that your ESL service person is there so that they can have a face with the name of the person who works closely with your ESL students. And then encourage participation in the yearly seminars that are going to come up with flyers of the seminar information in different languages. It goes a long way to have information in the EL's native language. It shows that you care about them if you can supply them with information on their level in their language. Now, let's talk about those seminars. These seminars are a way to teach EL parents the basics, and also accessibility tools on the computer and to answer their questions. And so for me, I have two separate ideas of seminars that I think would be a great idea. Saturday morning seminars, once a month, open up your library at one campus to host a seminar for the parents to come to campus and learn how to ask questions about technology. They can learn, they can ask questions, bring their student with them, maybe 2 to 3 hours for whoever would like to come. I think if you offer door prizes, maybe coffee and a little bit of breakfast, like donuts or kolaches from the local shop, then you would have some people who would come out and ask their questions and want to be involved. You can host this once a month or some other sort of regular schedule. But I think it's important that you keep it on the regular schedule so that the expectation is that the teacher librarian will be at the campus at a specific day, at a specific time for these people to show up. You wouldn't want to change it around and people have miscommunication. And then weeknight seminars. Again, same kind of idea, but on a weeknight instead. Set a regular time and a schedule. It could be once a month, could be twice a month. Maybe you want to spread it out a little more. Give the EL parents time to get off work and come to the campus for training. Make sure that you have the opportunity to offer your one-on-one help to them, their questions. Ideally, it would be great if you can enlist your ESL person, a translator, someone who can work with you as the librarian to not only teach the tech, but also reach out to them in their language, show them the accessibility tools that exist so that they can choose a language for the computer if they need to whenever they are working, just to give them the confidence to not only build up their language skills, but also to build up their technology skills. And one of the ways that they can do that is to encourage the parents to let their children teach them. It's not often that the children maybe get to teach the parents, but our students have a wealth of knowledge because they use this technology on a daily basis. And so if we can equip the students to have patience with their parents and teach them, they could learn a lot from their own student. Obviously, they're going to learn a lot in your seminar because you're going to walk them through the basics, checking emails, downloading different documents. Where do they go? Some of the other tools that you might use on your campus. Maybe you have Clever. Maybe you have certain kinds of ed tech tools that y'all use on a regular basis, and you can walk them through the basics of that. Maybe you use Google Classroom and you teach them how to help their child find missing work, missing assignments that they are concerned about. All of these things. And it goes a long way to reach out to the community, to teach them, to equip them, build their confidence, therefore they can help their own student. Here's a list of my references if you would like to take a look at them. And I just want to say thank you for joining me.